You're now rocking with the 134 Smash podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134.
Welcome everyone to the newest podcast on the network. It's 134 Boyz. I'm Kevin.
I'm Tyree.
Me, Vaughn.
We are all proprietors of this podcast. We are no way experts, but passionate and curious observers who are willing to discuss topics. Our podcast will be a variety of topics for the public, which cover current events, life purpose, sports, entrepreneurship, music, finances, friendship, health, relationships, and entertainment. Today's show will be discussing finances within relationships, how they're dealt with, and some type of tricks and tips that can help us, understand finances and planning in households. We have two guest speakers today that would give us some insight of how they deal with the finances within their household. We have Dominique and Allyson Rouse. How they deal with
Thank you, guys. Good to have you guys on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. All right, Kev, yeah, you want to start it?
Yeah, so today we'll have this fine couple here give us some insight on how they deal with the finances within their household, budgeting. Income comes in and it goes out. What are the plans that they use and they incorporate in their household to help them deal with their finances. So we'll give them the mic. First, we'd like to give them a round of applause for coming on and helping us with our show today. The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Thank you, guys.
Before you guys start, any players that's going to come in, please come in 10, 15 minutes later. All right, thank you.
And before they go, you guys like let everybody know, like, because you guys are young, so you guys are like, share, if you could share, like, how long you've been married, and just because you guys are young, so this is good for the younger crowd to understand, like, you guys doing this, you guys doing it, starting young doing this, so it's very good even for us to
correct.
Yeah, to hear from you guys, like, as a young couple starting out early, knowing what to do with your money. So I want the people to know that you guys are young doing this,
So we've been married for 3 years. Married.
Congratulations on that. 3 years.
Thank you. We're getting through the first 5 is the testing year. So we're getting through that. But yeah, we've been married for 3 years.
Yeah, I'm 31.
I'm 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she a cougar. She a cougar.
Yeah, cougar. Oh man.
Okay.
But yeah. So the first thing, and I want to let everyone know this: we don't consider ourselves to be experts on the topic. We just do what works for us. And the first thing that when me and her started to get serious, I'll let y'all know we was living together before we were married. So because we did that, kind of that boyfriend, girlfriend mentality kind of carried into our marriage as well. So we were still operating almost as individuals. So the first thing that we did was we wanted to get a house because we did have a family, we had kids, and we wanted to make sure that they were comfortable. So dealing with different realtors, the realtor that we had actually was Liz Bell. Shout out to Liz. She kind of walked us through the process and kind of what would be best for us. So we ended up getting a house that we wasn't in love with, but she told us about how the area was up and coming and that the house we were getting was going to be a steal. In about 10 years, it'll be worth 3 times as much as it's worth now, which has been proven True, because I think we already have like $600,000 in equity.
I
There you go. There you
believe
go.
so. I think it's close to, I don't know. I think it may be five.
Yeah.
We bought
Nice.
it during COVID, so that was definitely a steal because we got the low interest. So yeah, like I said, like you said, we weren't in love with it. Like the house had like they had dogs, and I don't do pets, so well the smell at least, and they had dogs and cats and stuff like that. But our area is definitely up and coming. I don't know if you're familiar with Orlando or anything like that, but we're kind of on the outskirts, and there's a lot of builds going on. So just right now, like he said, our equity is high. Looking at that now, we're like, wow, being young, and then when we finally decide to sell the home, we'll pretty much be in a good place, So
We'll be debt free.
we'll be debt, yeah, we'll be debt free. We can use that money to buy our own property, maybe a rental property, things like that. So we're thinking, down the line as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
But I don't want you guys to skip over the fact that you guys bought a house in your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. Like, you just talk real fast over that.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's
we gonna salute that.
Kev, hit that button, Kev. Hit that
You
button,
bought
man.
a house in your 20s, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you not gonna just walk past that like that's normal. That's not normal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's definitely huge. I kind of had to break her out of that, apartment mentality.
Yeah.
She grew up in New York. She was used to like, staying in apartments with Crotona.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stayed in the apartment.
They trying to play New York like that.
Shout out to the Bronx.
Yeah, shout out to the Bronx for real.
Don't do that.
Shout out
Maybe
to the Bronx.
represent CPE, stand up.
Let's
Bronx in the building.
So and I'm not throwing shade at anything, but at apartments at all, because I think for certain people it's a great lifestyle, but down in Florida,
I was just saying your upbringing.
Yeah, and my upbringing. Yeah, it's really my upbringing. I grew up in a house, you know what I mean? So when we got together, we already came up with that plan that we wanted to get a house, and it just ended up working for us because now it's something that we're in the process of owning. You know what I mean? So once we own this house, I mean, shoot, we're sitting pretty. And even if we decide to sell before we fully pay it off, we'll still have close to $400,000 in equity to put down on a new home or land and get it built. So, it was all about us making, the right decision, because honestly, if I would tell anybody, if you could make an investment off of something that benefits you, right away. Because a lot of people, like, they'll invest in something like, let's say, the stock, but you got to wait for that stock to hit to get the money. But for us, we bought a house that we could live in, and on top of that, it's making money for us. So kind of killing two birds with one stone. And and we did end up coming across like some trials, and tribulations, because I know with money, like for instance, me and my wife, we now share a bank account.
Ooh.
There we go.
Controversial topic.
Yeah, at the beginning.
That's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
At least
you got it out.
Because at the beginning, we didn't share bank accounts. Like, she had her money, I had my money. If ever she ended up needing like she was short or whatever, she's like, hey, like, I'm trying to get this, or the kids need this, can you give me this much money? And I would send her money from my account, and and we would just go back and forth that way. But I'm a huge football guy, because in the midst of that, and I'm gonna get to the football aspect of it, but in the midst of it, us having our own bank accounts, she ended up getting in quite a hole of debt, because she had to kind of operate on her own, and I didn't know anything about it. You know what I mean?
I
So
got you.
so because she ended up getting in debt, and I'm like, okay, like how much we need? So now I'm trying to get her money so we can get out of this debt. But then it kind of crossed my mind, and this is where the football aspect comes in at. So I played cornerback. And
Okay.
when I first got to college ball, I was all about me. I just shut down my guy
Yes.
and went about doing my job. And my
Mm-hmm.
coach preached to me. He was like, "It's good that you know to do your job." He's like, "But when you know all of your other teammates' jobs, when you know
Mm-hmm.
their assignment, it helps you play your position even better." So let's say
Mm.
we sit in a blitz. Instead of getting a press man, I can get 10 yards off and I'll just sit because I know the quarterback won't have time to throw. And I can
There we
jump
go.
any route, and make the play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I looked at it with Allyson. When we started, when we joined in when we joined our bank accounts, it
Mm-hmm.
made us accountable to each other.
There we go.
So now if I go spend something, like let's say I want me some new sneakers, I want to drop 300 on it. I could do that when I had my own account, and she would never know. She'd just see the shoes come in. She's like, "How much you paid for them?" That ain't what I
$100.
paid.
Mhm.
Like why it matter? You know what I
Pocket's
mean?
plenty.
But yeah, but now that we share an account, if I go buy something extravagant and there's like bills that need to be paid that I don't know about. You know what I mean? Like she could kind of see that this much money came out the account, or she can see how much both of us have, and she can be like, "Hey, like I don't know if you're planning on doing anything, but like be cautious because we got to pay this much money for electric or this much money for water." So it kind of helped us kind of be accountable to each other. Like I said, knowing everyone's assignment. She knows what
Mhm.
I'm bringing in. I know what she's bringing in. We know she knows what's going out. I know what's going out. So now it's kind of like us understanding how much money we are actually bringing in, and we actually started seeing like a lot of improvement on our finances.
Right,
There we
right. So I'm
go.
just
So
gonna.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
so you would suggest, not suggest, but what you're saying is um having a joint account holds each of you accountable now. So it's more of a one pot situation where you guys can now see everything under one umbrella, opposed to you doing your own thing, I'm doing my own thing, and then we looking towards each other to make the mends and and fix the issues that comes about, right?
Correct.
Tackling issues together instead of
Correct.
individually.
Individually,
Correct.
yeah.
Good.
So I was
Okay.
gonna add.
No, good.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
listening. Go ahead.
Oh. No, I was just gonna add, like, for what you just said, like tackling it together. And I know in the beginning he brought up like where I would be short of something, and I have to like ask him, can you, send me this, send me some money for this, and it just, I feel like that also was kind of something that I wasn't comfortable doing all the time too. You know what I mean? So it just took away that as well. We see what's coming in. And like you said, accountable. Like I don't go out and be trying to buy Chipotle every day, stuff like that. For one, like big bag.
Chipotle's good.
But
Chipotle tastes good.
another thing is like that adds up. So it's kind of like, sometimes okay, well, I had Chipotle one day, and then he'll have his lunch, and we kind of just do it that way.
Yeah.
And then the money you see actually coming in and that we save,
Yeah.
because we're the other person can see like what you're spending, and we kind of talk about, okay, if you're going to spend this much money, let me know so I can know I'm going to do this. Like when we started to put our numbers together and we saw how much was actually left over when we combined versus
Mhm.
doing things separately, it was like way more. It was
Yeah.
surprising actually.
Yeah, and it made our budget run a lot smoother
Right.
because
Okay.
our budget is we do I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with it, but we do the 60/40/20 rule, where 60% of our income goes towards our bills, 40% goes towards our wants, and then 20% goes in savings. You know, so it was hard to do that because I never knew, you know, exactly what I could spend on me and what needed to go towards bills because I wasn't aware of her bills. Like when our accounts were separate, if she had credit card bills and things like that, I didn't know about these things. Like I didn't know how much money she was putting towards her credit cards or and she didn't know what I was putting towards mine. Like I could get my check one Friday and I could be like, you know what, I want to pay my whole credit card down. And I just live off like little transactions off my credit card, and
It's that individuality thing. It's operating as if you're just taking care of yourself. It just
So
takes that
let
work.
me ask you guys this: was
Mhm.
that a a hard transition to do, or was it easy? Did it
I,
come easy to go from not sharing to sharing?
it was hard.
It was hard.
We had actually talked about joining our accounts like
For years.
yeah, like 3 years before we actually did it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need to join our bank account. And like because I know for her, like and she could probably speak on me, but I know I'm gonna speak on her because she told me this herself and she was like, I just don't wanna have to ask you for something that I wanna buy. Like
Right.
I don't wanna run that by you. If I wanna get it, I wanna get
I
it.
want to get it. Yeah.
I work hard, you
And
know
that's
what I
how I be
mean?
feeling. That's how I
Yeah.
be feeling.
Yeah.
I
Like
want to
I
get
yeah.
what I want to get,
Mhm.
but
Uh,
it can put you in a bad spot because well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I could wind up making bad decisions and then paying for it later. So I get it. I get it. So I'm glad you guys figured that out very early into your relationship because in marriage, that's one of the things that destroy marriages is finances and
Finances.
money.
Yep,
So
that's one of the big ones.
yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, Kevin, I see you guys since
Yeah. So, would you mind sharing with us and the viewers what are your strategies? Like, okay, so now we got to the point where here you guys went from individual accounts to joint accounts. You did a 60-40-20, right? So beyond that now, what other strategies do you guys use in the household to help you with your finances?
To help with our finances, for one, we sit down once a month and we discuss needs for that month. So we plan ahead. So like let's say we'll take July for instance, because we just got out of that month.
Mm-hmm.
We know for a fact that July was going to be the time that we needed to be able to put money aside because our kids are going back to school next month and we
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to have to, for one, go out in the madness in Orlando trying to shop through and fighting people for clothes for our kids, things like that. So we sit down once a month and we're like, okay, our 60 for the okay, our 60 never changes because our
right.
60 is our bills
Okay.
and those don't fluctuate. Our 40-20, those will change. So like for this month, instead of it being 40-20, it was more 50,
10.
yeah, 50-10.
It's more going out.
Okay.
Well, 60, it was 60-30-20. I'm sorry. So it was 60-30-20. Yeah, so this month we did 40% and did 10% in savings, right? So because we knew we were going to need that extra money because now we have to pay for something that we don't every month. So we
Oh, got
always
you.
try to look for reoccurring payments and we automatically throw those in every month. So we know we're going to spend this amount of money every month. And then like
So you guys would say that communication is the key to that, right? Always being on the same page, knowing what you got to do.
Definitely. I think, and it's not easy. There are times that I'll be like, we need to do a budget. We need to do a budget. And sometimes we will procrastinate. We won't want to, because at times, talking about money can be very
depression.
depressing, especially when you actually do the numbers and you
Hmm?
see, dang, we ain't gonna have
Right.
Nothing. We
So,
scraping them by.
so
You
who's
know.
the budgeter out of the two? Is it both you guys, or is one of the other who will budget more than the other? Like
It's,
put the plan together.
it's mostly me.
Huh. It's mostly you.
It's mostly
Coming
me.
out. It's coming out.
Uh-oh.
I mean, you do a good job, but I think
Coming out.
once I actually, he does a good job at breaking it all down and everything like that. But I think it's actually getting to the table. Actually getting him to sit down and go over everything, because like you said, it's depressing. You don't want to see, okay, we got only this much left over after you bring in this much. It's kind of like, bills add up. But usually he could break it down really well. I know what things the kids really need and stuff like that. Like I'm more so on the kids, and these are things that he doesn't really typically think about. But it's getting to the table to discuss it. That's the hardest thing.
Because I'm not like she is. So it's teamwork. She knows what the family needs. See, like for me, and I'm not saying that I think about me, but I'm mostly like I'm a handy guy. Like I love using like my hands, like working on the yard, and you know what I'm saying. Like if I get any type of extra money, I'm probably gonna go on Amazon. I might want to buy some lights for the house. I might want to, buy rocks or plants and plant them out in our yard so our house can look nice. But when we get to the table, like I tell her, like, hey, I'm trying to get this, 'cause I'm gonna do this to the house. And she's like, well, we gotta do, the kids need this, and I'm gonna need this for groceries. And like she brings up things that I don't even think about. So then I'm like, okay, so maybe I can't get this paycheck.
I would say we both kind of work at it, really.
Yeah.
I think, definitely both. Because we come together. Right. You write it down.
Yeah.
Do you guys utilize like a spreadsheet or anything to remind you? Because since bills are recurring things, so sometimes they get cumbersome and you forget, or this date comes and you're busy or something. Do you have like a spreadsheet where you could do this coming in, that going out? Oh,
yeah, I have a spreadsheet. Okay. I use Excel.
Excel, exactly, correct. Okay.
Functions like that. So that is something that I do utilize.
I use Rocket Money,
and we do use the Rocket Money app as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with both.
So we.
I'm sorry to cut you before you have to. Maybe some of the audience, especially me, I'm listening. I don't know anything about that. So can you explain what is the Rocket Mortgage and then the Excel? What you're doing with the Excel?
Okay. So Excel basically, so you have your monthly expenses. To break it down, you have, I don't know if anyone's familiar with an Excel spreadsheet, but then you have like one column, you have the columns, and then you have the rows, right? So on one column, the first column, you're going to list all your bills. You can put the dates next to them, and then obviously in the next column, you put the amounts. At the top, what I'll do is my income, like for that, let's say I do it by pay period, typically. So this pay period, this is how much is coming in. You add up everything that's due within that pay period for those bills. You add them up, you have a sum, then you take what's coming in and then you subtract what's going to go out, and then you see your leftovers. So typically the leftovers will be, okay, now you're getting to what? The 40 or the 30, right? So you get 30. So, okay, now this is the amount. Now we have, okay, what are the wants, right? And then we'll get into whatever's left over goes into a savings. So then that kind of draws over to the next pay period. And that's kind of like, you just keep on doing it from there. Hopefully I explained that, well, but yeah.
Rocket Money is pretty much like what she does, but it's what she does on Excel. But for me, like I said, it's an app, so it's more accessible. And then you can set it to notifications, and the Rocket Money, it kind of tracks your spending habits. So if we're paying like this amount of money, like for instance our mortgage, we pay our mortgage on the 15th. So a week before the 15th, Rocket Money will send me a notification saying you should be expecting for this much money to come out your account because mortgage is due. So it sends me a notification, and that's the benefit of Rocket Money because if you're not like my wife where you work from a computer every day, so she works from home. She's a claims adjuster, so it's nothing for her to be able to pull up her Excel and take a look to see like what's coming out or how much money we're gonna have at the end of this pay period. But for me, I work for the state. I'm always on the go. I do like construction projects. And because like I'm always in a car or something like that, like it's very handy for me to be able to get that notification and it reminds me like, hey, you got this coming up. You know what I mean? And it's real easy for me to be able to track my spending. So it lets us know, like whenever we're doing good, like it let us know, like, hey, you spent $997 less than you did last month. You know what I'm saying? Kind of give you like stuff to make you feel better about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like yeah, like it's working. Like look at how much we're saving just from us cutting this out or making this adjustment. So that's why
Gotcha.
we use Rocket Money.
Gotcha. You got something, E?
Mark, yeah.
Kev?
Yeah. All right. So we discussed accounts. We discussed your how you organize your bill payments and your monthly expenses. Now we discussed. Okay, you guys are young homeowners, right? So we have a lot of people out here that don't know the homeowner process, not familiar with it, probably interested in one day becoming a homeowner. Would you like to share with us your education and your process of owning a home and what goes along with becoming homeowners?
So I take the beginning process and then I let you like take it home.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's why we're doing it that way because honestly, that's literally how it worked for us. We were living in a rental home, and once we moved in that rental home, and she'll tell you, I told her, I said, next year we're living in a house. We're not renting anymore. We're gonna have a house next year. So first I would say that the thing you need to in order to own a home is ambition. No can't
Okay.
be an answer. Like
Let's give this man a round of applause. We like that. We like that. We like that.
right. So the first thing that I did, we were probably in our house for a month and I was on Zillow just looking up homes, like, okay, this was nice because I expect for us to be living in a house next year. And I'm already going to start to get ideas of what kind of house we're going to get, and I would show my wife and I would say, hey, you like this home? And she would let me know like, like, I like the yard, but I'm not crazy about the kitchen. You know what I mean? Or she'll say, yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm not crazy about the master bedroom," so I'm understanding her habits and I understand my habits, so I know exactly what we're both looking for. And then just so happened it was a house that both of us like, and even though we were only in the house a month, I just went ahead and I messaged the realtor just because I wanted us to be able to go see it. Like I'm like, we don't have the finances to actually buy it now, but I would like to see it, So the realtor, she called me when I messaged saying that I liked the house, and she wanted to know what was our situation. Are you looking to move in within the next few months or a year? And I let her know that we're not looking to buy a house until next year, but we just kind of want to get a head start on the process. And she was like, okay. And honestly, when you tell realtors that, they'll start to take you seriously because anyone that doesn't want to buy a house or they're not going to take the process that serious. They're just going to tell you that they want a house. You know what I mean? But realtors, they move off of action. You know, so she asked us to come in, and she was probably testing to see how serious we was about buying a house. So we went in, and I let her know like what our financial situation was, and she was like, okay, so you bring in this much, and you bring in this much, so we're gonna be looking at a house around this price. You know what I mean? And then she started to let us know, like, if you want more, like, and this was the great part because our realtor worked with their own lender. So she put us in contact with the lender, and then the lender was able to tell us exactly what money needed to be in order to get a certain amount. Like we were looking at what 200, like we were looking at 250,000 for a home. That's what we started out at.
I think so.
Yeah. So
what was this, 1990?
it's Florida.
Because ain't no
Yeah,
house
Florida, man.
220, man.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
Not where I'm
Well,
at.
not now.
Yeah, not now.
Yeah,
No.
That was
that's
back
definitely
when that was
inflation,
COVID.
heavy
well,
inflation.
that was pre-COVID.
Yeah,
Actually.
pre-COVID. Yeah.
But the reason why that price was like for a home that probably wasn't gonna be as nice.
Yeah.
Remember?
Because
she said, but that's not what ended up.
yeah, we've seen some scary houses. So for
I was gonna
250.
say that.
Yeah.
So the next thing we did, and this will be the last thing that I said before I let you take over, was the lender let us know exactly where our finances needed to be and where our credit needed to be. And when you have those two answers to the questions, it makes the search easier because now you can put a plan behind that ambition. Okay, so we said we wanted a house, so this is what we got to do, and this is what we got to do.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I'll let Allyson take it from there.
Yeah. So definitely, it kind of was a good thing that the realtor worked with the lender. Now I don't know if all realtors do work with lenders or not.
Most of them do. Yeah,
So,
majority does.
So with her, like you said, she took us in. We were like you said, just looking. We just wanted to ask questions, and then so it was a good thing that she did because she actually sat down with us, went over a lot of information about, when you could, what was the buyer's market, seller's market. She went over all of that actually, and like he said, they told us this is where your credit needs to be. This is how much money you need, and then from there we just obviously I worked up to get my credit up pretty good. So that's one thing you got to work on. Make sure you have the appropriate credit to get a home. As far as savings concerned, you get what the cost, how much you would need, right, to put a down payment down. And then COVID hit for us. So in that sense, we kind of had the down payment.
No, we had a down payment because of income tax. We didn't.
Oh, income tax. Well, that's another thing too. Income tax is really good to use as well. So if you're planning on buying a home, I don't know if anybody want to use that, but that's a good. They say that use your income tax to invest, so that will be an investment. So we did use income tax during that time frame to go ahead and put that towards a down payment for our home, and then we just saved. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, it was they do a lot of asking questions, looking at bank accounts, wanting to see this and that. I was pregnant at one time. They kind of wanted wanted a letter from my job to say why, I missed this amount of money. So they kind of get really deep sometimes, asking you questions about things. If you have late payments, they're going to ask about those and why. That's one
Underwriting.
thing. That's the underwriting part. Yeah, the underwriting part. So that was pretty much it. I mean, for us, it was nerve-wracking because you never know when they're going to be like, no. I guess that's what we were thinking because we like, I don't know, for me, it was kind of like an out-of-body experience because I'm like, we ain't getting this because this doesn't seem right, especially with the home we ended up getting. We were like, no, this not gonna go through. And then when it went through, I mean, hey, it was our house. It just happened.
Shout out to that realtor for looking out.
Yeah, really give me a realtor because
it's important.
It's important because it was really smooth. It was a smooth process. Really, there was no issues. Really.
What I've noticed so far, yeah, I hit the communication, the trust, and now, y'all moving along. It's like 5 things you need for a successful marriage, they say. So we got 2 out of the way.
All right. Can I follow up on the home buying process for those people that's listening that want information? I'm just going to sum up basically what you guys said. I have some information about the home buying process. I buy a home, flip them, I rent them. I'm a landlord and everything. So
Trying to stun on us, man.
I'm not doing that. This is a show where we're going to share information. I just want to let people know, because I can't give you information if I don't have.
Man, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I stay humble, man. But shout out to you guys for going through the process, because it's a very, very frustrating process. It could be a long one, you know. But yes, credit when you do go to a real estate agent or a broker to buy a home, you have to be ready, because their time is money. So you have to have all your stuff your stuff ready. So credit, right? So we share with the viewers, for those that don't think that they can buy a home, there's a minimal credit score that you are allowed to have to be approved for a loan to buy a home, right? So we're looking at a 650, right? That's the minimum, right? Yep. But the purpose of the credit is because of the interest rate. So having a lower score hurts you with your interest rate, right? So those that are interested in buying a home, typically you can buy one with a 650 minimal, but you're going to pay a lot more on your home because of your interest rate is higher. Secondary, there's your credit score, right? So you have things on your credit that the lenders are looking at, right? So you have delinquencies, you have judgments, you have late payments and stuff like that. Those things you want to take care of first, right? Because when you're being lent money by a bank, they want to feel comfortable with lending you the money. If you don't have a good payment history or good history with your credit cards prior, they will assume that you're not going to pay your mortgage. So some people normally also don't have that type of deposit to buy a home. So if you don't have a deposit, it doesn't stop you from buying a home. But what happens is you'll be put on PMI. You won't be able to which PMI is property mortgage insurance. It allows the bank to feel secure with the loan. It tells them that we will collect a certain amount of money to pay for this insurance in case the person that is borrowing the money from us defaults on their loan, so that they don't lose anything in the whole transaction. So I don't want to get too intricate about it, but it's a big process for buying a home. Interest rates are a big factor of purchasing a home. You lock into a 30-year mortgage. Sometimes, some people 20-year, depending on your situation. That's a long time to be paying a certain fixed amount of money. So you want to get the best deal, best interest rate. You want to have, everything in the right. So there's an order of operations. You want to make sure your credit is in order. So typically a 750 or towards a 780 would get you into a non-FHA, a conventional, correct.
Can you explain the difference?
So a FHA is a federal housing assistance loan. So basically they help you with your deposit. They help you with the money that you cannot come up with because of whatever reasons, right? So a conventional locks you into better interest rate, and at the same time, you're not responsible for PMI, because PMI stays on that loan until you can pay your mortgage down to a certain percentage, so shows the bank that you have an interest in the house now, so that they can kind of remove themselves from the situation, because you're not going to lose your house because you lose your equity.
So you're going to have 8 years, Kev?
Huh?
Is it 8 years?
There's no time frame. It's however fast you can bring it down. It's a percentage. It's 20%.
Right.
Correct. So some people, I'm not going to get, it's really deep. You can get really deep in it. You can pay your house down. You're locked into a 30-year mortgage, but you don't have to stay in the 30-year term. There's ways to cut your mortgage down with just double paying on your mortgage every year. You'll cut all that interest off. your money will start going towards the principal. The principal is now the portion in the home that goes to the actual value of the house, opposed to the interest that goes to the bank. So one extra payment a year will knock down a few years off of your mortgage. And a lot of people don't know that. These things aren't taught to people. And that's what I want to come across to you guys as a young couple. I'm happy to see you guys doing well. You guys are on the right steps, doing the right things, and it's unfortunate that we don't learn these things early in life. Finances and home buying process was never taught to us, So that's the whole purpose of we having you on and us having this show, is so we can educate the people, And, also I was going to ask you other questions about protection, and we're going to go into protection now. What do you guys do to protect your assets? Because I see you guys have a system now. You have a budget, you have you're paying your finances, you have spreadsheets, you have a savings, you accumulated a home. So now you have assets, right? How do you guys protect those things? What things do you have in place to protect your assets?
I don't think I have any assets other than the home.
Other than the home. So I mean, are you talking about homeowners insurance as far as protection, or are you talking about, like, what do you mean? What are things that? Because that's the only thing I can think of when you say protection.
Life insurance.
Oh,
life insurance.
Oh, we actually need to. Well, we have them through our job.
Yeah.
A lot of people have those through their job.
Yeah.
But we do need to purchase a policy outside of that. We need to actually get that going.
We discussed
that.
Primary is one that
do
we
that
want.
too.
I used to be a representative for Primerica.
Yeah, we were definitely.
He trying to stun on us on this show
Nah,
right now.
man, I'm educating the people. Yeah, listen, it's all love. It's all love, man. Education for the people.
Yes,
No
that's
stunting here.
important. Yeah,
No
we
stunting
don't
here.
have
It's
that
all
right now.
education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, I'm going to go a little bit into the life insurance, because I think this is also a big factor that the viewers and for those that not familiar with it need to know, because I'm realizing I'm seeing a lot of GoFundMe's. We have to stop that. That has to end. Right? Because we're pushing our liabilities on other people. People have families, they have bills, they have responsibilities. There's no way that you should burden somebody to raise money to bury you or take care of your responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
So there's stages in lives, right? So it's not everybody can get a whole lot of coverage, but something is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life insurance, if for those that don't know what life insurance is, I'm pretty sure most do, but life insurance is a death benefit that covers the insured and its loved ones in case someone that passes away, someone that has a financial interest, right? So you two share your finances, you pay for your house. If one person, God forbid, passes or is out of the picture, now all of the burden is on one person, You have small children, you have a house that you have to maintain. So in an instant, your life changes, right? These things are important. These things are very important, and people really they push to the back burner because they don't find the importance in it. But it's very important. And people say, oh, I can't afford it, it's not in my budget, so on and so forth. It's really not expensive. And there's different variables. There's different variables of life insurance.
Yeah.
And so what do you guys think about that? Because y'all got 30-something% to play with.
Right. Yeah. It's not expensive. And actually, to be honest with you, like, even hearing Kevin, go over that, I'm sitting here like, why we don't have this life insurance? Like, because it's not.
Get on me about that all the time.
Because the policy benefit will be higher. Because we were talking, she went over everything with me. Yeah. It was not expensive at all. Like, it's something that we spend in a week.
I'm gonna share how it was put into place for me. So this is what this guy once said to me, and it opened my eyes. He says, "You guys driving your cars, right? Your cars are insured, right? Yeah. But you won't insure the body that makes the money to pay for the cars.
Preach, my dude. Preach, my dude.
It opened my eyes. I'm like, wow, that is true. I'm paying insurance on this car, but yet I'm walking around and I'm not insured. I have so much more to lose than just the car, you know. So these things are pretty, you know. You have small kids. This also is another form and fashion of breaking this generational curse of poverty. You know, we can leave something to our children that can change their lives.
And the younger you start, the cheaper it is, because you don't have any health issues.
That is correct. If you don't have any yes, correct. Because there's proof of insurability. You have to be able to prove that you're in good standards, you know, health wise, and you'll pay very low rates.
You know what I think, Kev? Why is it a hesitancy? I can't even get the word out, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Is because it's like when you think about it, when I die, I ain't getting that money, right? So I think that's why people like, I ain't getting it, so why I'm gonna do it, right? But that's a selfish way to think about
Very
it.
selfish.
But I think that's what go through most people's heads. Like, I'm not benefit from it, so why would I do it, right?
Okay.
Because we can sacrifice a lot of things, eating out, buying sneakers, buying clothes. I mean, you got to buy clothes, but not so much expensive clothes just to pay for that to have it. But I think for some people, that might be their mindset.
Okay.
Not
No,
only
that's
that,
a great point.
it's not an immediate benefit. When you buy shoes, you get to see those on your feet right now. When you get life insurance, you don't see, all you see is the money going out, but you don't see the coverage that.
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna change your thought process right away. So there are different forms of life insurance, right? So if you guys can write it down too and research it later, but there's a policy called the UIL, right? It's a universal index life. That policy pays a cash value, right? So it also has a death benefit amount and it has a cash value amount. You are allowed to withdraw from that over a period of time, and that's what a lot of wealthy rich people do. They put them in the kids' names and stuff like that, and then now the kid it has availability of a fund that they can open a business, they can buy their first car, they can pay for school, they can buy their first homes. You're eligible at 18. You have
Isn't
from
that
18.
like a trust fund?
No, it's a policy. It's a life insurance policy, but it has a cash value built into it.
Gotcha.
On top of the death benefit amount, and it's matched by the stock by the market, so it's market based.
So is that more expensive than the normal life insurance?
It's a little more expensive than the term life, but term life doesn't pay you anything until you die. It doesn't pay out until that insured party dies. So the benefiter is the person that's the beneficiary.
So what we gotta do, all this is good, right? We gotta speak to the person that don't care about that. We talking about?
No, of course, yeah, we could do that too.
And what you're talking about, how you saying it? The average person, and basically probably in the hood, these areas, you're not hearing none of that, right? So it's just the truth. Young people
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, they don't want to hear none of that, right? So we gotta break it down to where, how do we speak to them and make it comfortable for them so they can understand that? Because the language you're talking, I could get it, but to reach out other people who's not even on that level, it's gonna be hard. So that's like what you said earlier. A lot of us wasn't raised, and I'm speaking for myself, you know, I wasn't taught how to spend money. I just got money. I just got money, and it's like, here, you know. I speak for myself. Like I said, I grew up from different than anybody.
Okay.
So when money was put in front of me, I wasn't taught what to do with money. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about, speak to the people like that, like the ones that didn't come from nothing, and then when they get money, it's hard to tell somebody, if you ain't got no food in the refrigerator, you put food in there, not to go eat. So it's like not everybody have it. Like our guests, they caught on early. They caught on very early, but not like the majority of people not gonna have it like how they have it.
But they weren't given anything. They had to figure it out. They learned.
I never said giving anything. I never said that word about giving nothing. I didn't say that. I said they caught on early. Not everybody catches on. I never said it was giving anything.
So I can't. No matter how I word or phrase anything, I can't make somebody catch on.
I'm not saying
That's
make
up to
somebody.
the person.
I'm saying but we have to. When we speak, our viewers, there could be anybody. It could be somebody homeless right now.
Yeah.
We don't know who we're talking to.
The only thing I can say is Google, right? Write it down, do the research. That's the best thing I can say. And I think I explained it to the simplest form and fashion I could possibly put it in. It's for that person that has the desire, the ambition, the want to go and do the rest. There's nothing I can do to change people that has that mindset.
Some people, that's why the guest is important, because the viewers got to see that you could be young and doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's available to anybody that wants to.
And you probably have the ambition. You don't know you got it, right? You don't know you got it. Sometimes it takes for you to meet a woman or you meet a man and they bond together. You know what I mean? It's different ways to come together, but in totality, they caught on early. We got so many people out here that just don't know what's going on. They don't.
Is the information? Huh?
Okay, Kev.
Is the information available for everyone to get?
Huh?
Is information available? Huh?
It's online.
Yeah, that's my question. For those that you saying can't catch on, won't catch on, don't have the availability, is the information out there for them?
Yes.
It's information for everything, but it's not in their radar. Like he said, he came from a house, so his mom said already, I want a house. I came from a house. I come from a house. He met a woman. They got married. He kind of changed her mindset. Not everybody's gonna have that.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't got the answer for that.
So, Kev, let me ask you this: how big is the business of insuring young people under 25 in the hood? Like, is there forms I could go around and say, yo, let me sign you up on life insurance? Because you're not going to live long, so I'm going to benefit off of that. How big is that business?
All you need is a social security number. That's all you need. Everybody that's born in America has a social security number.
No, I'm being for real. Is that a business?
Yeah, right? It's a business. Insurance is a business.
Is it a legal business? Is that legal?
Insurance?
Me going to the hood, finding the dumbest kid in the neighborhood, right? Because, you assuming the lifestyle, they ain't going to be here too long, right?
Okay.
I sign him up. Can I benefit off his death?
You can, but the laws changed over time because you have to have an insurable interest. That person has to agree with you for you to be buying a policy in his name and insuring on him. He has to
agree. It's cool.
Yeah, then it's fine. If he's competent and he's able to agree, then he's fine.
Okay. I just want to know.
I ain't even gonna ask why you asked that question, man.
I'm asking because you know why I ask. A lot of my questions I'm asking you is not because I'm trying to be funny or I'm trying to. I just want you to educate people on what people not paying attention.
It's available,
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
See all four of us, me, you, Rod. If we have a business together and I say I want to take a policy out on you, I can. We have an insurable interest. We have a business. So if this business is generating money and one of the money makers is gone, I need to protect the business. It costs to replace you. So I have an insurance policy on the business for the guys that's there. They do it all the time. It's done all the time.
Let me know. So what on me.
I can take if y'all wanted to. I'll sign the paper. Take a policy out on me. As long as you make the payments, it's your policy.
I'm gonna give you something real, right? By you just saying that, right? Automatically went to my head like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's me kind of thinking, and it could be ignorant. Me thinking like, damn, I'm gonna do that, and that's my brother, that's my guy, and I get it. It's
not
business,
personal
right?
to me.
It's not personal. So that's so I'm just saying that thought I just had is most people's thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do that because it's saying this person's going to die and I'm going to benefit off of it, right? But in the state of mind I'm in now, it's business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most people ain't thinking business, right? Most people ain't on that type of time. So the questions I'm asking is not me trying to be funny. It's
No,
just so you can answer it and educate people who
Oh
are thinking like
no,
that.
it's
no,
totally legal, man. If as long as
you
if
correct,
I,
Ty.
huh?
No, it's correct
If
because not everybody mindset is business. It's just like you go through stages. You know what I mean?
I
So
get it. You're right.
some people
You're
thinking
right.
as workers, and then you got people thinking as businessmen. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
it's like a businessman trying to talk to a worker. A worker not gonna understand what it is to be a businessman.
I
You know what I
get
mean?
it. You
Or
got to simplify it, and
it's like
then
a homeowner talking to somebody who rent an apartment. You're not
I
gonna
get
never
it.
understand. Like
I get it.
I got different level of bills I gotta pay.
Mm-hmm.
You paying rent.
What do you guys?
You paying
What
rent.
you
I'm
guys
paying
have
mortgage.
any
You know what I mean?
feedback?
Huh?
I'm asking Dominique, Allyson, if they have any feedback on any of the information or the conversation. Is
No, I get it. Like I definitely get what Yvonne saying. Like it is it is a mentality, but like you said, like the information is out there. So for instance, what Kev talking about with taking out a life insurance, like taking out a policy when you're young, you pay little on it, but you'll get a huge return. You know, if you get like a UIL and you can get money off of it.
Interesting.
But I got that information that Kev said when I was 18 from my grandmother who had life insurance. And she told me to get life insurance. She's like, because you won't pay a lot on it and you could end up getting money off of it. And my grandmother told me it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, man, I'm 18. Like, what I need with life insurance? Like, I got years before I get like sick. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
understood what she was saying, but I had a different mindset. Like, what I wanted to spend money on was different. So I get what you're
Yes.
saying, but at the same time, you probably got some 18-year-olds who would have took her up on
Yeah.
that advice and did it.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So at the end of the day, you can't really like that's just that equation will never be solved because the
Yeah,
variable will always be different.
To say
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I agree.
because that 18-year-old, like you are 18-year-old with no child, no children, but there might be an 18-year-old with a child that
Yeah,
hears that information X, Y,
correct.
and Z.
Correct.
So
Yep,
Yep.
you have
I agree.
different, walks of life. I would think,
Some people are just not in the headspace to hear certain things at certain times.
Yeah, nah,
That's how I
totally
am.
agree. All right, so
What's the next one, Kev?
we touched on protection. Now we're going to touch on a means to an end, right? So we working 40 hours a week for 35, 40 years of our lives, right?
Mhm.
How important, because a lot of people don't discuss it, but how important do you think, your opinion, is a retirement plan or proper planning for retirement?
I think it's really important, or if I can truly understand it.
that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. We have a lot of things in my job that talks about like they have like little like meetings and seminars
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And to be honest, it's kind of intimidating the information for me because I have a 401k plan with my company. And I actually also have there's like two separate plans with my company. It's like as if I have a stock in my company as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's two that I have, and I don't really understand because I get like a book in the mail with like the earnings, and I see all this
Yeah,
stuff
the
and
earnings report and the
earnings report,
prospectus.
yeah, and then
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but I'm just sitting here like I really don't understand it. I know our realtor actually reached out and talked about getting like, oh, you should get an IRA, and I'm like, well, what is that? And like, so I think it's very important, but I think you have to be educated on it and understand it also.
So,
What do you think?
Allyson, do you actually read that book when it comes in?
I look at it and like I told you, I'm intimidated by it because I just see a bunch of numbers and I'm just like, what is this? I don't understand. I don't really understand it. It's not. I don't know if anybody feels the same way.
There's a lot of people like that
It's
that fill that way.
yeah. It's just I get a whole big book and it
I
tells me.
think with the father retirement, stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like starting to feel it now because I'm up there in age, right? So I'm looking like, all right, you know, I think it should be taught to like younger folks.
Yeah.
If you come out of school or you get a job or something, like don't get a dead end job early. Like, you know, it's not. I think like dudes should get like a trade, get some good jobs with the union at an early age, so you can retire early. Like this retiring age 65, like you're gonna be dead. I mean, but how much time you're gonna have to enjoy life?
Right.
You know, so like, you know, I think it should be taught where like, you know, get something. It's easy instead of done, but we gotta like cut out like, you know, trying to work at McDonald's at 2021. Like go for something that got retired. Like, you know, you could have pension,
Retirement,
401k, annuity, all this stuff at a young age.
Yeah.
So when you probably 40 something, you could hit the age where you want to retire. Compared to retiring at 65, 70, and then you
correct
body all twisted. I mean,
yeah. So I'm gonna ask a question, and how many of you guys knew that you can start a retirement as a child's age, but not as yourself? A parent would have to do it. Did you guys ever know that?
Like no. 401k?
No, it's not a 401k. 401k you have to be working. So they have a such thing for us with kids. They have retirement plans that is called a Roth for minor, right? So it's a Roth for minor account. So the parent or whoever the contributor is the custodial of the account. So you can start contributing, and it matches the same, I think, maximum of, I think it's like $7,000 a year allowance that you can contribute to that account for your child. And then when they hit 18, they become the custodian. The account is turned over to them, and you no longer have control over it. But that gives them that early step or push that we didn't have or we didn't know about.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So like these are the little things that I'm learning, I'm finding out, and I'm trying to share with people. I want to make sure everybody else knows it because it will change a lot for us as a people in our future. For the kids. You know, they don't have to worry about, hey, I just started my job, I got to work 40 years. No, that's not their plan. Their plan is different because they had an early
Definitely.
So these little tips and tricks that's never taught to us or mentioned to us, it's out there. It's definitely out there.
Like you were saying, the stuff is out there, but if it's nobody's telling us,
yeah,
because that's something that somebody could use right now for their kids.
Right.
But I didn't know that. Like nobody's.
What's that called again, Cal?
Roth for minor.
Roth for minor. Okay.
Sounds nasty, but
it's a Roth IRA, but it's a Roth for a minor. But like I said, the adult is the custodial. The adult is the custodial over the account.
That's the gem right there. Like, you know, we ready behind the 8 ball because we coming up. How many parents giving them a whole paying for your college and giving you inheritance?
That's another thing. Another thing.
You know, we not coming into that.
College savings.
Yes. Can I go around collecting babies' information and start that?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
No, go to jail.
Why you trying to figure out what other people trying to do?
Nah,
man. Ty's gonna go to jail on this call, man.
I don't think that's ethical, Ty. I don't think it's ethical, man.
I just want to know, because you know, there's so much BS going on out here. So people need to be aware of the BS too. You know, you got to be. Don't be giving people your baby's information like that.
100%.
Protect it.
You gotta keep on. You gotta keep on saluting the guests, man, because we just learned. Listen, for you guys to even get married at a young age, that's not even.
A lot of people not doing that. So we salute you. Give you guys a round of applause.
You know what I mean? To get married at a young age, that's a big deal. Salute to you, my guy, for finding your queen early and wrapping her up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big step, you know.
The dog.
You know what I mean? So
But I did want to
it's
speak to the what you guys were just talking about, job wise about retirement. 'Cause I know Allyson spoke, but I kind of wanted to give my side of it.
Oh, yeah.
When I got done playing ball, I didn't get drafted. I kind of not started drowning, but I was lost as far as like I had my degree, but never planned on using it. And as an athlete, there are a lot of construction jobs looking for strong athletic guys because for one, they're college educated, so they're not a dummy, and two, they're used to working hard. So what I wanted to kind of stress to the listeners or viewers is don't get blinded by the money. Like when they were telling me, we'll pay you like this much money an hour. You know what I mean? Like the only thing I was looking at was the money per hour. I wasn't even thinking about a 401k or any type of retirement or anything like that. And didn't
Great
even
point.
know how
Great
important
point.
it was until I spoke with my wife. Like my wife had an HSA, my wife had a 401k, she had all these things, and I'm like, all I got is bread. Like I don't have like what you have, and it bailed us out a couple of times because she had those things and I didn't, and it never crossed my mind. So make sure that you getting benefits as well as bread. It's
Would
important.
you like to share with the public what the HSA is for those that do not know?
It's a health savings account, and typically, like I said, we're not experts at these things, but I do know, I do know that it takes care of things that that are not covered when my insurance is ran for like certain medical expenses. So co-pays. I also can use my HSA to buy certain items, and it could be feminine products, different medicines. I use for vitamins sometimes. And then they also have like an HSA like website, literally called the HSA store. So if your company does have it, you can go on there and purchase things. And it's a lot of things that you don't even know that you can buy with an HSA as well, like humidifiers. And so it's good. It's a good thing to have. And it's money that so your employer like can match what you put in. So it's that kind of it's a savings account. So if I put in a certain amount, my company just matches what I put in.
And this pre-tax dollars is a taxable event.
Yes,
it's pre-tax. It's taxable event. It's for high deductible insurance account. So if you have a high deductible flexible spend, is a flexible spending account for high deductible insurance policies.
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
There's an expert. I just get it, and I know that it takes care of things.
Excellent.
So my guys on this, it feels good to have a strong woman on your side, right? Being married, because I say that because no, it does. I'm gonna say it because of the way we were brought up. Kev E. We grew up. We've been friends forever, almost our whole lives, more than over almost 40 years, right?
Yeah.
So me having a woman that supports me and have my back all the time. I mean, I don't plan on making mistakes, but it allowed me to learn from those mistakes. So I appreciate my woman. I know you guys do, but a lot of young people don't understand how important it is to have that support because you thinking you just running the streets or you're doing this, and you don't have that one person in your corner, whether it's your wife, your parent, a friend, whoever, to have your back and help you learn these things. Like I always say to you, Kev, like I'm gonna speak for myself. I get a lot of things from you, right? You done did it first, so we learn things from each other. I learned things from E. So that support from my wife, a lot of things I probably would have been Well, I've probably been in the streets, but
Shaking it for the cash, right?
but
Man, it's
it
crazy.
brought me a different life perspective because all that stuff we just talked about, I would never been put in that position to learn the little bit that I know without her. Right, so I gotta give her a shout out and don't get your head big because I'm
Shout,
still in charge.
shout out to
Right,
the wife.
I'm still in charge.
So
As soon as
shout
you
Shout
get
out
out
on
to
the
honey.
these
stage, you're
strong
gonna get
queens.
smacked.
Shout out to these strong queens out here. That's
No,
holding
but
it
It
down
is.
in the
But
house.
so
no, it's good to have a woman, man. It feels
I
good.
mean, yeah,
I ain't
because
gonna lie.
we don't want no man, so you gotta have a woman, bro. But
We ain't doing that shit.
but to speak on what my brother talked about, yeah, like I said, we try to it's very important because I said in the last episode, because me being married to my wife, my daughter just got married, so you know, she seen me, her mother married. She wanted to get married. My daughter 25, so she got married at a young age. You know what I mean? But she know what she want. Yeah, her mindset is ready. She's going like on the level you guys going. Like yo, this marriage over. We maybe want a house now. We want to do this. We want to do that. And that's very important. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's a beautiful thing. Like Todd said, you know, I'm able to. My wife will tell you I'm bipolar, so I'm crazy. I'm all over the place, and yeah, I'm all over the place. So my wife's like, she's basically the one who like, listen, she got my back. You know what I mean? She makes sure like, listen, all right, calm down, let's handle this. So that's very important to have that backbone. So I'm happy you found that at a young age, and I wish you guys number of blessings and many years to grab some gray hairs together. You know what I mean?
You don't want those, D. You don't want those.
Oh,
Them
gray
gray
hair.
hairs.
That's inevitable. You can't stop the grays, man. They gonna come.
The grays and the shanky banks. You don't want
Yeah.
those,
Oh,
bro. Stay away from the shanky banks.
This man
welcome to
crazy.
that. So you guys have kids, right? You have kids, 2 kids. You said 5?
Oh,
Oh, I was like, okay, 4 kids. Okay, I'm like, go for 5, man.
I don't got no issues with it.
Get them out the way. Get them
See,
out the way
there you go.
early.
There you
That's
go.
the secret.
She
Get
said,
them out the way
huh?
early. Yeah, so y'all can be out there enjoying each other in the old age. Get them out the way
Let's
early,
get it.
man.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Yeah, man.
So it's a beautiful thing.
so
So Dominique,
that's
was you good? So I keep hearing you talk about football. Was you that good?
I was like that. I I'm a humble dude, but I know when I got the goods.
Okay.
For me, it was just a matter of politics, honestly. If I'd have stayed at
Oh.
if I'd have stayed at the Division 1 school that I accepted my scholarship to instead of going to
Mm-hmm.
Division 2,
Mm-hmm.
I would have more than likely been in the league. My
Mm.
coached, and I'm not even sure if y'all familiar with the gentleman, but his name was Leon Hall, and he played cornerback at the University of Michigan. And the same guy that coached him coached me at Eastern
Oh.
Michigan. And when I told him that I was transferring, he called me into his office and told me that he wanted me to stay. He's like, because he's like, if you stay, I'll get you drafted first round. But I ain't trust him. So I left.
Mm.
And looking back at it, when I seen how smart the coach was, is one of my regrets. But everything happens for a reason. If I'd have made it, I probably would have never met my wife. You know what I mean? Like,
There we
there
Yeah.
we
go.
go.
Yeah, that's
Clap for
how
that,
it's a
Cam.
good
There
way
we
to look
go.
at it. Let's
yeah.
give his brother a round of applause.
Allison, there you go. Allison, you bet I made it.
That's why I say you gotta have a successful black man. Gotta have a successful woman on his side.
That's right.
Tell you,
Got to.
We agree.
it doesn't work without that.
Nah. Like I seen a post that says, uh, he said there's a fool. They said there's a fool, and there's a fool in every man, and there's a king in every man. You know you found your queen when she
There you
speaks to
go.
the king in you.
There you go. That's a
There we
good
go.
quote, man. I like
He
that.
talking. He talking. He talking.
Yeah, talk that talk. But D, look. It's actually 3 athletes on this thing, right? Only
Damn,
3.
Jesus.
Listen,
It's
This
3.
man.
It might be 4 if Grapey was an athlete. Grapey, what
I
you
am
doing?
an athlete.
Gymnastics or track? Okay, so it's 4.
So it's
There's
4.
only 4 in here.
Like,
It's
what
4
you
of us,
There's only
man.
4.
What's the 4?
Ty,
Come on.
the two guests, and me.
Oh,
And yeah,
okay. I got you.
that's it.
All
There's
right.
only 4 athletes.
So,
Understood.
Man, so.
You see how disrespectful they are?
no. But
Hey, let them
but
know. Let's get it going right
but
now. They can't
nah,
handle me right
no,
now.
Scott, come on,
They
man.
all old men right
but
now. They
also
can't handle me.
salute
Mm.
to Cav. Your daughter got what 2 what she got? She got offers, what, 2 offers, 3 offers?
I think she's up to 6 or 7
7
right now.
offers.
D1, right?
Yeah,
Future
D1.
oh D1.
WNBA star.
She
Yes, sir.
15 years old, man. Let's give her a round of applause.
Yeah, right. She going to
Salute. Yeah,
LSU?
salute.
She gonna be? Where she going? She can't get to
They
Iowa.
can't even talk. They can't talk to her yet because she only a freshman.
Ah,
So
dang.
she got a whole another 3 years before she can make her choices.
There you
So
go.
enjoy it now, cause
Yeah, I
eventually,
know.
boy, that once that
Yeah, I
thing
know.
get to you,
I
you
know
gotta
you
have
know.
stage
I
at
know you
least.
know.
Sure, man.
Yes, sir.
they
Allyson, what sports you played?
and
Oh, you wasn't no
he
athlete. It's
said he was
3
a.
on here.
So that's another thing, and I'm glad we discussed finances because with this new generation, they're paying them big money. So these kids have to be very financially savvy so they don't go broke because they're getting money very young,
Yeah.
very young.
A lot of
So
money, a lot of money. A
uh,
lot of money, man. Real
very young.
status.
No,
Yeah, they're
it's
getting
fine.
it in high school now.
Yeah, it just cleared in Florida.
Yeah,
Early
NIL.
this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, NIL.
Yeah. Yep. So these kids are getting thousands, some hundred
Millions.
thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
I'm
early
trying to
and
Gary Coleman some of them kids.
What?
Tyler
They be
crazy
like
man.
Gary Coleman parents, nigga.
But
All that money.
I'm going to do the best I can to guide her and instruct her, to give her sound and conscious decision making with her money. And I just pray and hope that God leads her the right way.
Yeah.
And that's all you can do, man. With whatever information and things I've learned, I plan on passing on to her, and whatever
Wait,
decision.
this is simple, bro. Just tell her her uncle is gonna be her manager. That's it.
1% off the top.
Off the top.
Don't do her like Don King, man. Just don't do her
King,
like
Oh,
that,
like
man.
you see the gray hair. E King, I'm taking all that.
Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, man. Yeah, we
So
greatly appreciate y'all
we
coming on
definitely
and sharing
appreciate you
Thank you
guys.
so
your
much,
Love
man.
you
first
Thank you
guys,
home.
so
man.
much. Thank you. We
We
appreciate it.
enjoy it. Y'all had very good insight.
Mhm.
My man Kev giving classes for $20.
That's
A
right.
piece.
I hope I was able to help someone today.
You definitely was, Kev.
You helped me, bro. You helped me.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank
Each one teach one. It doesn't benefit me to hold anything, man. What benefits me is everybody doing good together. That's how I'm on it.
Right.
Definitely.
So I would have loved for people to call in. I hope people did listen, comment. This doesn't have to end here. We read the comments. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. We'll gladly reply.
Listen, man. If you don't like, this guy teach you the free seminar. If you ain't trying to get no game, man, then
yeah.
this ain't for you, man. Just not for you.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
basically told you the steps. The guest basically showed you the steps.
Cash at me $20. Kev's teaching the class. Cash at me.
So you
Man,
learn.
Ty
I
about to
got you.
So you
do
learn.
a
You learn
This Sunday.
This
finances.
ain't nothing for profit.
You learn
mhm.
home ownership. You learn marriage. You learn. Come on, man. Come on. This is
Yeah,
free. It's
learn
free class,
retirement.
man.
We
Retirement.
learn retirement. We learn life insurance, home protection.
HSA. What you say? HSA. What you said?
Health savings
Yeah,
account.
you
Yep,
you
HSA.
learn everything,
Learn
man.
about all
So
these different things, man. They
listen,
out there.
Your
It's out
spouse
there for
can be
everybody.
a financial liability too. Your partner could be a
That's correct.
financial
That is
liability
correct. That's
too.
why you got to choose
That's
Yeah,
right.
right.
definitely
Choose
correct.
right.
Choose right.
Choose right.
Yeah, you
Choose
can't. You
right,
can't.
man.
Don't just go pick up anything. You know,
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
you
Because
gotta pay
it
for
could
their
be
parents' groceries and
it could
stuff like that.
it
You
could be
don't
a
want to get in
financial
that life,
blessing.
man.
It
They
could be a
ain't doing
financial blessing,
cheesecake.
or it could
They
be a
ain't doing
financial
cheesecake
liability.
factory, man.
And you're
They,
We
paying
go.
everybody parents' rent.
Listen, man. We
I don't know
going we
what
going
this
to
man tell. I
Applebee's.
don't
You don't
listen. What
like
he
it? Got the
talking about?
car, man.
Cheesecake Factory.
well, cheesecake factory ain't good
Listen,
enough. That ain't the one.
I love
Nah,
Cheesecake Factory.
listen, man. Listen.
That's my go-to.
It's some some days you can do the big one, some days you can do the small one. Pause. Know what I mean, but
100%.
not all the
Yeah,
time.
that sounded crazy, huh?
Hey yo, whose man is this?
I said pause. I said pause, man. But listen, yo, don't make that a slide.
Oh man.
No,
So
man, but
thank you guys again. We
we
appreciate it.
appreciate it,
I
man.
know
Thank
you
you so
guys
much.
are probably tired. Y'all got things to do tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Enjoy your trip.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, be
Enjoy your
safe,
trip.
enjoy, have fun,
For sure.
and thank you again.
Thank you.
Kev, what
Yeah.
you want to do your Russell Simmons thing?
Nah, man. I just want to say thank you. God bless you guys and your
See?
union. Much success and blessings towards you and all your future endeavors. We appreciate y'all. We love you. Thank you again. We out.
Let's
That's right.
go.
Black love.
See you time.
Yes.
You're now rocking with the 134 Smash Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You know Smash, about to have it on Smash, about to test you with the presses. Hope you dudes and you chicks gon' pass on go mode, so you can't stop it. We let the fans shoot, so pick any topic. My bro Yvonne, yeah, he been a dawn, live from the X, been putting that ish on. Don't even try the boonies and let it fly. The corner store on Lyman, don't play about the homie ride. Talk about A1s, been loyal from day one. What I know about the horsemen, what? My four brothers, I'm speaking for them, I'm leaving you gems. So I hopped on this beat like Kevin the Rim. This here, perfect timing, Cash Ruger, that's who rhyming. We shining like new diamonds, they sharper than new liners. We ready, we on timing. You don't think you on timing. You know where the finest from Bristol to Lyman. You're now rocking with the 134 Smash Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134 Podcast, uncut and raw. You're now rocking with the 134